welcome to your show, the MMA Grand and Pound Show. I'm your host, Enrique Solorzano, and welcome to the Barborner TV network on ZINGOTV channel 250. Please remember to download both the Barborner and ZINGOTV apps in the respective app store on iOS and Android devices. Both apps are free. While you download, make sure to read and leave a comment. ZINGOTV is also available on Google Chromecast and Chromecast TV sticks, Amazon Fire and Fire TV sticks, Roku and Roku TV sticks, and also on all smart TVs 2016 and forward. So, well, we have a lot to cover this weekend. We have two fights, two pretty cool fights. So, first of all, I would like to talk about UFC Fight Night Blades versus Lewis results. But that fight was canceled last minute. So we had another fights, which like the main event was Anthony Smith versus 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 Devin Clark. Sorry, so that was the main event. Then we're gonna talk about what's next for both fighters. Then we're gonna talk about Tyson versus Jones Jr. This boxing match that which I have mixed feelings about. And then I would like to talk about boxing. Is it a sport or is it a show? So we're gonna talk about that. So let's get right into it. So let's start Blades versus Lewis results. So like I was saying, that main event Blades versus Lewis was canceled due to Blades testing positive for COVID-19. So some fights that were like in the preliminaries, they were moved to the main card. So for like because these fights were included in the main card, I didn't have any predictions for them. So we're gonna go through all these fights, and I'm gonna tell you if like I was right or if I was wrong. So I didn't do that bad this time, so I think I'm getting pretty good at this. Okay, so first we have that Jonathan Pierce beats Kai Kamaka by TKO on the featherweight division. So this fight in the first round, Pierce started very calm. Uh, Kamaka was connecting punches. He was kind of feisty at first. He was connecting punches, some good leg kicks. Then both of them they were exchanging. Uh, Both of them were very dangerous and very explosive. Then Pierce took the fight to the ground, but Kamaka he punched back, and he was trying to break. Right on the second round, Pierce he took the fight to the ground again. He was trying to get a submission, some good punches by Kamaka, but Pierce he was countering by uppercuts, by doing uppercuts. He was getting good takedowns. He showed like a really good pace, but then Kamaka he turned around, trying to get a submission. Pierce could break it. He got on top and he started punching Kamaka from top. So for this fight, I didn't pick anybody. Pierce got the W by TKO. So it was a pretty exciting fight and a good fight to start the night. Then we have that Norman Dumont defeats Ashley Evans Smith by unanimous decision on the women's bantamweight division. So on the first round, both girls were taking their time. They were like measuring the distance, right? So they could connect. Durmon, she was connecting some good punches, good elbows as well. And I think she find her range right away. So she started to connect some good combinations. On the other hand, Evans, she was trying to connect, but she was failing, and Durmont, she could counter successfully. So this round, the first round was very good for Durmont, and Evans she was looking hard, and she had a cut on her nose. So on the second round, Evans she got a takedown, but Dumont turned around she got the top position and she was working out some good punches. They got up and Durmont was connecting heavy punches again. So Evans, she was looking stunned and she was saved by the bell. And on the third round, Evans, I think she realized that she needed to win. So Dumont, she found her range perfectly, and she kept connecting without any problems. Then Smith, she tried to get the takedown, and at the end of the round, but she got punched by Evans. For this fight, I didn't pick anybody because it was a preliminary card, but Dumont, she looked really, really good. And as I said, Evans, she I think she didn't find her range in the entire fight. So she was like very eager, trying to connect, trying to land some punches, but she couldn't, and she left her guard down while Dumont took advantage of that, and she started like connecting some good punches. Okay, so then let's move on to the next fight. So we have that Bill Algeo defeats Spike Carlyle by unanimous decision on the featherweight division. So another decision. So on the first round, uh, like both the gentlemen, they went out swinging, kicking, good punches by Algeo. Carlyle, he was looking more aggressive, while Algeo, he was being more strategic. So Carlyle, he got the takedown, but Algeo got up. Carlyle tried to get a submission, but Algeo broke free, and then he got on top. On the second round, Algeo, he took the fight to the cage. Carlyle, he was trying to get the takedown, but Algeo got it instead. He was looking for a submission. He was on top until the end of the round. So this was a very dominant performance by Algeo. And then on the third round, Carlyle, he connected on punches and kicks, but Algeo, he was countering. At the end, they were swinging away. And then Carlyle, he went for the takedown. He got it. Algeo got on top. And that's how the fight ended. Algeo, he looked very relaxed, while Carlyle, he was struggling during the entire fight. Uh, So yeah, for this fight, I got it right. I picked Aljo because he has more experience, and you could tell the fight he was more relaxed, while Carlisle was like getting worried about landing punches. Right? Okay, so for the next fight, we have Parker Porter beats Josh Parisian by unanimous decision on the heavyweight division. So another fight that went all the way, but it was this fight was pretty was but was something else because these are heavyweights, right? And on the first round, both guys went out swinging. They didn't look in their best shape, but they were like a landing kicks, knees. I thought that that fight was going to end pretty soon. So on the second round, both of them looked tired. Potter connected a good leg kick. He brought Parisian down, and they took the fight to the ground. On the third round, they looked really tired, but they kept swinging. They were swinging, but very tired. So, Parisian took the fight to the cage. For this fight, I got it wrong. Parisian got the W. Sorry, Porter got the W, while I picked Parisian because he has more wins in his record. So it was a good fight for both of these gentlemen, and let's see what what's next for them. Okay, so for the next fight, for the co-main event of the evening, we have that Miguel Baeza beats Takashi Sato by submission due to an arm triangle on the welterweight division. So this fight, on the first round, both fighters took their time. They were finding out their reach. I think they were respecting each other a lot. Baeza, he was starting to do some good kicks. He landed some good kicks. Sato, he tried to get the takedown, but he got a low blow by Baeza, so he had to rest for a few seconds. Then they engaged in a good exchange, but Baeza, he was connecting heavy punches. Sato, he was looking hard. On the second round, both fighters, they start taking their time again. Some nice kicks by Baeza. Sato was throwing more punches, but not combinations. They kept exchanging some good combinations. Baeza, he got the takedown. He decided to take the fight to the ground. He was doing some ground and pound. And then he decided to go for a submission, and he got it. Baeza, he's undefeated. And for this one, I got it right. And my train of thought was that, yeah, Baeza is undefeated, and he looked in good shape for this fight. And I think he has like good things coming up for this fighter on the welterweight division. So let's move on to the main event of the evening. So this fight was the co-main event, but it was promoted to the main event because the main event was canceled, as I said before. So for this fight, Anthony Smith beats Devin Clark by submission to a triangle choke on the light heavyweight division. So this fight, it was a quick fight. So in the first round, Clark, he went out swinging. He tried to get the takedown, but Smith got it instead. They took the fight to the ground. They switched positions. Anthony Smith started doing some ground and pound. And then he decided to go for a submission, and he got it. So Anthony Smith showed that he has good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, which I think are very underrated, and he didn't have the chance to show them before. For this fight, I got it right. I picked Smith, and I was saying that he needed to win because his performance on his last fights, it hasn't been the best, and he needs to get the W. So I'm pretty happy to see Anthony Smith back into the winning column, and he was really happy. But the thing is that he needs to work more, right? Because Devin Clark, no disrespect, of course, but he's an unranked fighter. And Anthony Smith, he fought John Jones like less than 2 years ago. He fought against Glover Teixeira, which was a very hard fight for him, for Anthony Smith. So it's good that he gets a win. I think this will help to build his confidence, and then he's capable of giving us great fights. He's very young. So he can go for the title again, I think, if he keeps giving us good performance. So this was a good performance for him, but let's not get very excited because, like I said, Devin Clark is an unranked fighter. He doesn't have a lot of experience. So this fight, on paper, it was a very easy fight for him. And yeah, he won. So let's see what's next for Anthony Smith. And let's move on to the next topic, which is what's next for Smith and Clark. Okay, so for Clark, he needs to go back to the drawing board. He's an unranked fighter. He was an unranked fighter before, and I think he dropped a few places because he lost on this fight, right? So I think he could fight Ovin Sempru, but depends if Ovin Sempru has a fight coming up, and it depends if OSP loses his next fight. I think it will be a good thing to face Clark. It will be a good fight for both of them. And I think that this fight was too soon for Clark. I think he needed to have one or two fights before facing somebody like Smith, because even though he wasn't performing at his best on his last fights, he is like Anthony Smith is a very experienced fighter. He has faced John Jones, Teixeira, like I said. So maybe for Clark was too soon. Okay, so now let's talk about Anthony Smith. What's next for him? So I think he could face Jiri Prochaska. And who's Jiri Prochaska? So Prochaska, he just beat Volkan Oezdemir. No time. So this guy, Oezdemir, he was knocking people out. Like 2 or 3 years ago, he faced Daniel Cormier when he was the champ. Now he hasn't been performing at his best, but still is a very dangerous fighter. And Prochaska, he just beat him. So I think this fight will be a great tune-up fight for Smith, right? It could be a good fight for him to keep working his skills, to keep pushing his confidence on the ring, right? Another good fight that will be good for Smith if he wants a challenge. He could face Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes also beat Ozdemir, so both of them have beaten this guy, this very dangerous fighter. Both of them have fought John Jones, so that fight will be a huge challenge for Smith because Smith his performance was good this weekend. Don't get me wrong, right? But if he faces Dominic Reyes, that'll be a very dangerous fight for him, and I think it will be like a decisive fight for Smith because Dominic Reyes is a killer. Uh, like I said, Smith he won. We are very happy that he did, but let's remember that Devin Clark was an unranked fighter, and he's an unranked fighter. So let's hope Smith keeps winning, and let's see what's next for him. He's an entertaining fighter. He's a very good commentator as well on the UFC. So let's see what's next for this gentleman. Okay, now I have to talk about this event. So Tyson versus Jones Jr. So I was very excited for this fight because I grew up watching Mike Tyson fights, right? So what happened is that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fought this Saturday, 2-minute round. It was an exhibition fight, but Mike Tyson is 54 years old while Jones Jr. is 51. They didn't look that bad, but it's not like they were in their prime, right? Israel Adesanya was one of the commentators. There were live music performances before each fight, which I didn't like at all. I don't like music performances before each fight, and it wasn't like my favorite genre of music, but oh well. The fight obviously was ruled as a draw. Both fighters are willing to have a rematch. They need money, right? So yeah, it was exciting to see Mike Tyson fight again because I felt like I was a kid watching watching the fight with my dad, right? But it wasn't the same thing. I don't know if you know what I'm meaning, right? But let's see what's next for them. And then I have to talk about this topic: boxing, sport or show. So it has to do about what I was telling you, that it was ruled as a draw, right? Okay, so first of all, on the co-main event was Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. So who's Jake Paul? So he's a famous YouTuber. He's very young, 23 years old, and he defeated Nate Robinson, who is a former NBA player. So why is a YouTuber fighting an NBA player? I don't know, but we watch it. A lot of people pay to watch it. I pay to watch it, so they're in it for the money. So yeah, obviously they didn't show the best technique. They were doing it for the money, and it shows. When Jake Paul won, he asked for Conor McGregor. Like, I don't know, it was the knockout real. I don't know. Was everything planned? Maybe, maybe not. So, like, don't get me wrong, I love boxing. I grew up watching it, but everybody knows that boxing has been crooked for years. So this fight was ruled as a draw, even though Tyson got more effective strikes. Like if you look at the numbers, Tyson did really well. He connected more punches. He he was like the more active fighter, and then they ruled it as a draw. And now, like today, Mike Tyson tweeted that he smoked marijuana before the fight, right? And I don't know, like for me, an athlete is someone who is clean, who puts his body or her body to the test, who is disciplined. So it was kind of disappointing, but like I said, it was bittersweet to watch that fight. It was good to see Mike Tyson back, but we're not gonna have the hungry Mike Tyson like we had in the 90s, right? And I think maybe they're gonna schedule a rematch, and you know what's going to happen? We're gonna pay to watch the rematch. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna talk about it in the show, and it's gonna be a draw as well. Or if Tyson wins, they're gonna have a rematch. So more money. That's that's how it goes. I remember watching the fight of Canelo versus Triple G, right? And I love Triple G. I thought he won all the fights, but they were ruled as a draw. That they had a rematch, and it's like a vicious cycle when like they see how they can get money from you, right? So, well, let me know if you watched the fight. What do you think about it? What do you think about the live music performances? Like I said, they were not my cup of tea. And also about the commentary, because a lot of people were complaining about Snoop Dogg commentating the fight, Israel Adesanya. For me, Israel Adesanya makes sense because he's an MMA fighter, right? Snoop Dogg, maybe not so much because I don't think he knows a lot about MMA or boxing. It was funny, right? He was like doing some jokes and he's a cool guy, but I don't know if he should be like the best commentator, right? Okay, so that was it for today's, my friend. So thanks for watching the show, and remember to watch a UFC event this Saturday, UFC Fight Night, Hermanson versus Vettori at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Mexico City time. Tune in Mondays for results and analysis, and Wednesdays for predictions and analysis at 7 p.m. Follow Barborner Network at BarbornerNet. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Remember, this is a conversation. Let me know what you think at Enrique Drums MX. This show can also be heard on the Barborner Radio Network on its 122 platforms. Please check out barborner.ca for all the news. Barborner, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, leave it. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get it on.